Hi, we're going to continue in lesson 9, and in this one we're going to look at some of the ways that you can add some more columns to your frequency distribution. So we're going to continue the exact same data set that we had before, and here's the frequency distribution that we created. So I'm going to do a little bit. We're going to extend this line out, and we're going to extend this line here out. And here's the new columns we're going to add. The first one will be class limits. And the last one will be called what's cumulative. The cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency. All right, here we go. So the class limits are the nearest whole numbers inside of the class boundaries. So let's take a look up above, and that might help to make more sense. So notice that if we look at our dot plot, the orange marks here, these orange marks, those became our class boundaries. Those were the half units. But notice that inside the class boundaries are the next set of numbers. So you look at your lowest class boundary and you go up one, or up to the first whole number, and your highest class boundary you go down to the first whole number. Those two numbers, from 1 to 2, are called the class limits. And so, for example, if these were larger classes, then there'd be more space in between. But that's all it is. It's just the nearest whole numbers inside of the class boundaries. So what I have then is my class boundaries for the first class that has boundaries of 0.5 to 2.5. My limits are 1 to 2. Now for the next group, it's from 2.5 to 4.5. My lower limit is 3. My upper limit is 4. For the next class, if I go just above 4.5, the first whole number is 5. And for 6.5, the whole number that's just below it, well, that's 6. For the next class of 6.5 to 8.5, my limit is the whole number just above 6.5, well, that's 7. And the whole number just below 8.5, that's 8. And if we go down again, our class boundaries from 8.5 to 10.5, well, immediately above 8.5 is 9. And immediately below 10.5, that's 10. And those are my class limits. Okay, now the next column is called the cumulative frequency. So the cumulative frequency starts with the lowest class and ends with the highest class. And it just adds up the frequency. So let's see, in the first class, my total frequency is 3. Now, when I look at the second class, I've started from the lowest part and I've worked my way up. Now I've looked at the first 3, plus I've looked at the next 3. So this next one is 3, this 3, plus this 3 to be 6. Now when I look into the next group of data, well, I've already looked at the first 2 classes. Those had 6 data values in them. Plus I need to add to those the 4 in this next group. So now my cumulative frequency is 4 plus 6, which is 10. And then if I look into my next class, well, there was 0 data values there, plus the 10 that I've already looked at. So I would say the cumulative frequency is now 10. And the next one says, well, I'm going to look at 1 more data value, plus I've already looked at 10 data values. So it looks like my cumulative frequency now is 1 plus 10, which is 11. And notice we've already found that value. That was the total number of data that we'd seen. Okay. Let's do this now. We're going to make what's called a relative frequency distribution. And actually, I think this takes a little bit more time, and for the sake of having a shorter video, we're going to stop this one here, And in the next video, we're going to use this exact same frequency distribution, but we're going to write it in relative terms. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.